Alright, inside the newly finished greenhouse, hung up a few shelves. I'm standing right in the center of it right now. The door is now on this side instead of over here. Far side, this will be the north wall. Got a few shelves up. Just turned on the heater for myself in here because it's a little cold. I'll try to get a full shot. So there it is. There's no real size of perspective, but it feels bigger. It's very airy and open anyways. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am going to show you the new greenhouse. It is all done. This is the old greenhouse here. It is the last piece I haven't unassembled. So that's what that looks like. Really lightweight material, really flimsy thin single ply polycarbonate. And yeah, there's the remnants of it. Something interesting that you guys never realized was the roof on the old greenhouse was tinted. It came with a 50% tint, which was one of the reasons I needed to make it have the grow lights in there in the wintertime. So the sides were this clear stuff here, and the roof was the 4mm polycarbonate 50% tint. So let's take a walk up here. There are the scraps of the old greenhouse. And are you ready? There is the new greenhouse. So it's 4 feet longer, 2 feet deeper, we'll call it, and all around way higher. So why don't we go down and have a look. Okay, there it is from the side. So it's quite steamy in there, lots of humidity. You can see it through the polycarbonate. So this polycarbonate is 50% thicker than the roof and about 6 times thicker than the walls were. Put on the eave just to get rid of some of the water there. And yeah, so the old door entrance was right there, and so now it's around the corner. We've had days of torrential rain. I got this up just in time and then it just started to pour. So I haven't had a whole lot of sun with it, but I have had a whole lot of rain with it. So anyways, let's go in. So here we are, guys. This is the new greenhouse. It is super tall compared to what I'm used to, super roomy, and I've just been throwing some stuff on the ground. I haven't got any shelves down there yet, but I have shelves at the 2 foot mark, the 4 foot mark, and the 6 foot mark all the way along. So this is going to be a nice bright and sunny south wall. It's so bright in here already because, as I said, I'm used to the 50% tint, where this stuff, I can tell with my light meter, I get about 90% or more light transmission through. I think they claim like 85%, but it's actually a little bit higher than that. So yeah, there's this. It's big enough. Let me back up here. Sorry about the junk in here. This is like I just moved in basically, so imagine just moving into your house, because that's the way this feels to me. So got enough room for a table here. The heating system is the same heating system I had before. It seems to be keeping up. There's a whole lot more air in here, so it has a little bit more trouble. We'll have to deal with that over the course of the summertime before fall. Vandas can hang nice and high. I don't know if you can see this just for reference. Here's my hand. That's as tall as, or that's as high as I can reach. So we have a stool in here now, and the stool right now is over here, just to give me some height. So the fogger is down behind here. I'm going to do a separate video on the fogger, just to give you some good detail on how the fogger works. I'm really happy with the way the fogger is set up in here. It actually keeps up really well. It's a cloudy day right now. It's currently 69 degrees on the cool end of the greenhouse. So that is the 80 degree there is the override that kicks on the fans if it was to get warmer. This is a nice, I don't know if it'll last, but hanging Dracula chain. So I got all my nice Draculas out right now. I can finally see them. There's a Vampira, Hootaiana, Polyphemus or Phymus, Hertzii. This one down here is a Chimera. Oops, we're out of focus and it's bouncing around like crazy. This thing it's not as big as it could be. It's still a big flower, but this is a sequential bloomer, and I counted and it's bloomed 8 times on this spike. So that spike's been going a long time. Masdevallias are down on the ground here. So this is the north wall. At this point the Hellies are back here, as are the Nepenthes and that. It is a bright north wall. This is like the light that comes in here is 5 or 6 times greater than the light that comes in the other greenhouse. So I'm scared I'm going to burn everything right now. So I'm going to just start really slow until I find appropriate spots for everything. But the fog comes out here, over this sort of area here, and it actually mists all through the Draculas, all through the Masdevallias down there. These are more sort of cool growing stuff. A lot of Nepenthes there on the back wall, and even though this is the back north wall, it's bright. The sun comes in from up there, and it's although it's at the back of the greenhouse, it's still really bright, really bright. Totally not used to this at all. So what else can I show you? The shelving, it's all the closet organizer stuff. I had a few of these in the other greenhouse, and I picked up a bunch more. I tried to do this as cheap as I could, so I bought a bunch of used shelving just off like used sites and that. So it's kind of a mismatch of different stuff, but it was really cheap. And then instead of blocking it in with 2x4s, I actually made it as a suspension system. So I anchored it to the back wall with a I don't even know what they call that stuff. Basically a flat metal piece with holes in it. And then out front I used steel cable, and I went up to eye hooks up here, and they run, and it makes it really sturdy. So these shelves went up fast, they went up cheap. I wasn't cutting tons more 2x4s. I was able to hang one shelf every like 4 minutes. And they're really they're really low profile too, not having 2x4s coming out for the actual horizontal beams and that. You know, it's almost like they're floating. Another bonus to these kind of shelves like this, if the shelf isn't needed, I'll walk over here, like this little shelf here, if it's not needed, it's all hung the same way. So here is the steel cable, and it has 3 steel cables along there. If this was empty, I could just flip it up, and I could like anchor it just below here. It's almost like on a hinge, right? So as long as there's downward pressure, the more downward pressure, the more the steel cable just absorbs it. But when there's no plants on there, it's super light and it just flips up. So if I didn't want this shelf, I could, and I needed it, say, for bigger plants, I could flip it up, anchor it, which I haven't had to do yet, but I could put an anchoring clip up there and just have it still there, but like anchored up until I needed it. If I had a really tall plant, I could flip up the next one too and anchor it, and even do that up to the top. So all of these shelves are kind of adjustable that way, as they can all flip up. If there's a dirty old rag. get that out of the way. I'll throw that on the table there. Yeah, so if I had tall plants for the front here, the shelf just flips up. So super handy that way. The sun's actually coming out a little bit. It's really bright in here now. But yeah, so that is it. I'm not used to being able to walk. I can like take steps and walk around. The only thing I haven't got yet is the other greenhouse had a table for potting and for filming and stuff like that. I haven't got a table in here for doing potting yet. I think something is going to be portable that I can just sort of fold up, fold down. But I haven't got that figured out at all yet. The little bit of potting I have done so far has just been on the little bistro table. Foundation, or the insulating layer there, is the EDPM 45mm rubber. That was just there already. That's what the old greenhouse was on. And then the foam mats around the edges for now. We don't get hard freezes here. Our ground really isn't that cold. This here is my shade cloth. It is anchored right in the center right now, and it goes one of two directions. I can swing it this way and hang it on the hook up there where that plant is, and it actually, I haven't done that because I can't reach it, will shade all of the Dracula orchids, all the Masdevallias, and it kind of locks in the fogger system as well, so it keeps it extra humid and cool and shady back here if the sun was to come out. And if the sun's not out, then I can just leave it down. What else? This direction, if I was to put the shade cloth up this way, it will anchor right up on that little zap strap right there. Again, I can't quite reach it, but at nighttime, if I wanted to create a warmer zone, the shade cloth, or even a thicker cloth, would sort of trap in the heat because the heater's behind that one, and then it leaves this area all nice and cool on a colder night. So this cloth at that pivot point up there works two directions to create two different zones at two different times if needed. And yeah, my bigger Nepenthes are finally back out here. The Miranda spent the winter in the house because it was just too big for the other greenhouse. So it goes all the way up to the roof there. The Ventrata is down on the black bench down there. Spectabile is in front of it. And I'm just going to allow them to vine and climb around as well. It's nice to have some room for some bigger plants again. And it's nice to get the bigger plants out of the house. So anyways, that is first look at the new greenhouse. Remember, it's only been up a couple days, so it still has tons of work to do. But, oh, and the vents all, they work great. I did a video on how I made them. So there's 3 vents up here, and they are all great. And it looks like the sun is finally going to come out. It has just been monsooning and windy and rainy all morning. Lots of room now. Lots of room for more plants. Ooh, I got myself a new bromeliad there. This was a housewarming gift for the greenhouse. I don't know what kind it is. Neo something, I believe. I looked it up. Oh, and the sun just came out. Look at that. I'm going to let you stare at the sun too. There it is up there somewhere. Oh man. So that gives you a better idea with the sun coming out as to how bright it will be in here. It's just amazingly bright. Not used to it at all. The plants are going to go into shock. I would have never bought a greenhouse with a tinted roof if I knew the roof was tinted before, but it was my first greenhouse, and I learned a lot from it. And yeah, this one I think will suit me for quite a few more years, and if I outgrow it, I'm shit out of luck. This chain here has all my air plants on it, kind of just a display. I don't know if it's practical, but it is, just like the Dracula orchids over there. But anyways guys, there is a first look at the new greenhouse. Let me step up on the stool here and give you one final aerial view. It's weird having to step up on a stool to get to the highest plants.